Hello, Rebus here, welcoming you to an episode of Stardew Valley where we are going to rank the different farms that you can have in the game and which are best and beneficial if you're starting out a new game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Alright, number one on our list, we have the forest map. I believe this is probably the best farm layout that you can have for starting out. Because there is the special weeds right here that will always drop mixed seeds, so you can always have something to grow in your farm. There's also the fact that you can grow on the, you can build buildings on the grass as well now, which was added in one of the patches. But the biggest benefit is probably the fact that you can always have a continuous source of hardwood over here with these stumps. They will constantly keep regrowing daily and you can keep chopping them down for more. So that is a huge benefit. Now the downside to this farm is that there is some areas like this that kind of take up part of the map and you can't do anything with. You can't build anything on here or anything. The other big downside I would have to say is just the fact that there's these bushes like these right here that cannot be moved. These cannot be removed, you can't do anything with them, so they're always going to permanently be there blocking your space. But I believe this is the number one farm. Number two on our list, we have the original standard farm that you can actually, came with the base game back when it was released initially. This is the very standard farm that you will have. There's really no benefits, nothing wrong with this farm. There's a ton of area, as you can see, to pretty much plant any crops you would like, have any farm animals you would like. Pretty much everything you could possibly imagine building will fit on this farm. And it's probably, well, it definitely is the biggest farm with the most layout. And you can really build it up however you want. Just the major downside is just the fact that if you've played this game since it did come out, you've seen this farm. You've played this farm. You've used this farm so much that you are tired of this farm. But for a new person, this is a great starter farm. And it's perfect for just designing it however you want. Number three on our list, we have the Riverland Farm. This is probably one of my aesthetically favorite farms just because the house looks absolutely adorable. I love the fact it has that nautical theme. And it's probably the coolest design. There's so much water for you to fish at and pretty much lay down your crab pots. You can actually get any of the fish that you would find in town here as well, so you can do your fishing here instead of having to run into town, and you can also fish late at night and get that extra benefits. So the major cons of this farm is the fact, as you can see, it is very small. There is not a lot of land to do to have animals out or to really plant a lot of crops. It's just kind of congested, and the other major issue that you will run into with this farm is the fact that if you happen to cut down or anything near the edge of the water or try to grab crops, you can run into this issue where you will lose a bunch of your items that you're trying to pick up. But it's still a great little farm if you're just wanting to have that aesthetically pleasing, kind of on the river feel to it, and you're not really too worried about having animals. And at number four, we have the Hilltop Farm. I really like this farm. The main things that are great about it is that you have an area for mining very early on in the game, especially when the mines are not open or available to you. And with the recent patch, you can also partially grow on you can grow on grass as long as there's nothing blocking it. So you have a little bit extra room. And I'll just bring you over to here real quick. So this is the main mine area that'll occur. You can also get some artifacts from here as well. So this is a really good early benefit when you need the early copper and everything to start out with. However, this one is very, very limited with the amount of size you get. Unfortunately, with the way that it's laid out, there isn't really a lot of areas to have animals and crops. So you're kind of unfortunately stuck to 1 or 2 areas for animals and for your crops. The other really weird issue with this map is the fact that some of your bridges are just blocked. Like, this will be blocked until you actually can get a pick that'll break through this. So you can't use this bridge. The other issue is, I believe one of the ones over here also has a stump, which you cannot break right away either. So you're confined to using 1 or 2 bridges to get throughout your farm in the early game, which can be a huge detriment and really hurt for those just trying to start out and not used to the actual like layouts and how to get tools quickly. And finally on our list, we have the wilderness map. Now, unfortunately, this is my least favorite map. I do not think the perk is any good for what... I don't think it's any good of a perk. So basically, this map is really large. It's pretty much almost exactly like the standard map, except instead of having this area down in the bottom left open, you have a giant lake. The other key benefits are you can actually fight some enemies here that are like not found anywhere else in the game. They are the wilderness golems, and they are very similar to golems you will find inside the mines as well. Another nice benefit is this house actually has really cool aesthetics, kind of gives that like wilderness monsters outside feeling to it. So the only bad thing is the enemies have completely useless drops. There is a very, very, very low chance you will actually get anything worthwhile from them, and most of the time you'll be getting fiber that you can easily get from weeds or anything else. The reason the perk for this level for this map is also very useless is once you get to the end game, you can also have the option for any map to turn off monsters at your map. So eventually this one just becomes completely useless, but it is a neat little farm if you're tired of the standard farm and want something different that at least has a little bit different of an aesthetic while still giving you that large area to plant, have animals, and pretty much do everything you want. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these recommendations for the best maps in my opinion. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a comment, a like, or subscribe. And until next time guys, see you later.